Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. We've got a special Friday treat on the Zooms for you today. We are going to be talking about a production of Always, Patsy Cline, happening over in Rappahannock County. Patty Hardy is joining me. She is the director of the production. She also serves as the artistic director for the RAC Community Theater, Rappahannock Association for Arts and Community. It happens at the Little Washington Theater on Friday, September 19th when it opens. Patty, thank you so much, not only for reaching out to me, but then being available when I had a last minute cancellation. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Janet. We're just glad that we could respond and be here. We've been looking forward to talking to you and letting your broadcast area know about this because I think they would really enjoy seeing this Patsy Cline play.
So before we jump into talking about that particular production, give me a little history and background on your theater group, on the Arts Association. Give me some history.
The Rappahannock Association for Arts and Community, known as RAC, RAAC, has been around for 43 years. It's an arts organization, arts umbrella, and under that there's the theater. There's also a fall art tour that we've been doing for many years that is very popular, runs for 2 days in November. We have an offering called Soup and Soul, which started years ago during the winter when we really didn't have much going on in the theater. People gather in somebody's house for soup and a potluck, and then hear a lecture from an artist, a writer, a musician, somebody from the community, an author. We also every year have a very popular program called No Ordinary Person. And it's members of the community, 3, 4, 5 people, tell a story from their life, either a turning point in their own life or somebody who is important to them. And it's always different. It's always moving. It's always funny. We sell out every time. It's been going on, I think, now for 20 years. It's very popular. It's in June every year. We also have concerts, films, readings. I do play readings sometimes. We have children's programs. I have directed several holiday programs involving kids. We also have something called the Ephemeral Arts Project, which is people create art pieces that are ephemeral. It might be something out in the woods where they put something together. The idea is to be able to enjoy an artistic endeavor without it necessarily having to be permanent. In a sense, acting is ephemeral unless it's recorded. And then we also issue the Mitchell Fund grants, which are grants given to local people to advance their own artistic endeavors.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I always appreciate the fact that arts organizations are so diverse depending on the community that they come out of. I think sometimes people think, oh, it's the art, so it's always the same thing. But some of the things that you're listing off there are things that none of the other arts organizations in the Shenandoah Valley are doing. And I love that you have that different perspective that you can bring to the table and offer to artists and to the public.
Yeah, it's a little tiny county with just this enormous cultural offerings. So it's really fun to be there and be able to do all these things.
You're located in Rappahannock County. You're performing this production at the Little Washington Theater. Have you
Correct.
always been in that location?
For a while, there were 2 theaters in Little Washington, if you can believe it, right across the street from each other. The first one was called Key Theater, K-I Theater, started by Julie Portman, who was a resident and award-winning actress. It's in a little tiny white church. We could shoehorn in maybe 100 people, and it had such a great feeling to it. But it's owned by the county, and the county is doing some renovations of buildings, and so they've taken it back. But in the meantime, the couple that owned the Little Washington Theater, which is just catty-cornered, deeded the theater to RAC. So we now own it. It seats about 150 people. It's got a nice stage, nice sound system, and unlike our theater across the street, it has a bathroom.
Very important.
A big draw.
Yeah. Just one though. Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one. But
That's
that's
true. Intermission might
100%.
have to be a little longer than in most other places.
And it often is.
It's a great draw. People from all over the county and all over the region really come and see what we offer there, whether it's movies or plays or lectures or whatever.
It's often a double-edged sword too when you're talking about local community theater because you want to only be able to seat that many people. There's a sweet spot there in that 100, 125 area, but at the same time, you want as many people as possible to be able to be exposed to it. So
Oh,
it's
sure.
a difficult balance to try and find.
When we first started out, Key Theater went back, I think, into the 1990s or earlier. Then in 2009, when Julie Portman died, RAC took over Key Theater, folded us into its organization. When we started, it was like we'd have maybe 2 performances of a play. And then after a while, it was like, gosh, do you think we could maybe do 3? And then do you think we could do 4? And now with Patsy Cline, we're going to do 6.
Joining us on the Zooms as well today is Jami Davis. Jami is an actor. She's a singer. She's a dancer. Her day job is that she is the executive director at the Rappahannock Center for Education. Sarah Nutt is joining us as well. She plays Louise Sager, and she is a newcomer, I understand, to the RAC Community Theater. And her day job, of all things, is that she teaches theater and journalism at Rappahannock County High School. So, ladies, I'm excited to talk with both of you a little bit about your roles in Always Patsy Cline. Jami, let me start with you because you are playing Patsy. No pressure, no pressure at all there.
Oh, it really is a dream role. I can't think of any actress who also is a singer that wouldn't want to play Patsy. It is challenging. Her songs are not always so straightforward or simple. And with this production, the writer, Ted Swindley, has taken some of her songs and created medleys. And then in other sections, I may sing a part of a song, and then we hear from Louise telling part of her story. And then I go back into the song. And that, as a singer and performer, it makes it really hard for me to remember lyrics sometimes because it chops things up. And that's probably been my greatest challenge with this show.
Yeah, because muscle memory takes over. And if you know the song, you find yourself wanting to continue or
Yes.
wait, that's not what I'm supposed to do right now. You
No,
really got to have your brain going and all cylinders firing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sarah, what was it you said yesterday about thinking on stage or
I
not?
won't do it. One of my mantras in acting training was, I will not think on stage. And that's why you have to rehearse so much. So you can not think on stage.
The thinking takes you out of the moment. If you're up there thinking about what you're doing, you're not really in the moment of the play.
Sarah, we were talking a little bit before we started recording about the perspective of this production, that you were playing Louise, who was a fan, a super fan, really, of Patsy and getting to meet her for the first time. How cool was that for you to be able to get this role and now play this part that hasn't really been highlighted ever in Patsy Cline's history?
It's really cool. Like Jami was saying, the best role ever. I feel the same way about Louise. I get to do all the things I want to do, but societal norms tell me I shouldn't act a fool all the time and put on a show. I get to do that. And it's an absolute blast. But I relate so much to it because I met a musician way back when I was living in Chicago who I just loved and meant so much to me. And I approached him and I told him that. Now, I was not the fangirl that Louise is. Louise is a lot. Like, she is a lot. But I was very trepidatious in my approach because I didn't want to scare him off. But Louise is not terribly afraid of that. So it's been so much fun. It's a blast. And I already was a fan of Patsy Cline. So I already knew some of the songs.
Let's take a break. When we come back, ladies, can we get in the weeds on what the play is about, how it works, what kind of rehearsals have been like, and then get details on how people can get tickets? Can we do all that in the next segment?
Sure.
We are on the Zooms today talking about Always Patsy Cline. It is a production of RAC Community Theater happening at the Little Washington Theater. It opens on Friday, September 19th and runs weekends through September 28th. We are talking to the director, Patty Hardy, as well as the cast, Jami Davis and Sarah Nutt. We're going to come back and do more of that in just a couple of minutes. In just one day, you can help shape a stronger, more connected community. On September 19th, United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley will lead Day of Caring, the region's largest single-day volunteer event. Over 900 volunteers will roll up their sleeves to help local nonprofits with projects that matter. Painting classrooms, repairing shelters, planting gardens, organizing food pantries. Whether you're a business looking to sponsor, a nonprofit in need of an extra set of hands, or a neighbor ready to serve, there's a place for you on Day of Caring. This is what community looks like when we come together. This is care in action. Learn how to get involved at unitedwaynsv.org/dayofcaring or email dayofcaring@unitedwaynsv.org. One day, hundreds of hands, lasting impact. Join us. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are talking today about Always Patsy Cline. It is a production happening at RAC Community Theater. It opens on Friday, September 19th at Little Washington Theater over in Rappahannock County. Director Patty Hardy is joining me on the Zooms along with Jami Davis, who plays Patsy, and Sarah Nutt, who plays Louise. Patty, before we jump in and talk about the roles, the famous roles that these two ladies are playing, tell me a little bit about how this story came to be.
I'm always looking for different kinds of plays to do, and I had heard about this play many years ago. And then when Jami joined the theater, we overheard each other talking about it and said, let's do this play. So the show itself is the two women. It's Patsy and her super fan turned friend, Louise. It's really Louise's memories of meeting Patsy. And the main action takes place over like a 24-hour period. They meet at a honky tonk, become fast friends, start corresponding to each other. And Patsy always ends her letters with always Patsy Cline. So that's how the play got its name. And it takes place, it refers to when Patsy was at the Grand Ole Opry or on the Arthur Godfrey show or in this honky tonk and various other places. And it's backed up by a live band. And our band is made up of community members. Two of them are school kids, which I'm really excited about. They're both very talented. Two are from another local band, and then there's one musician who's from Strasbourg. And it's just a rousing good time. It's so much fun. Sarah really gets to cut up a lot.
Want to make sure that people from the outside looking in also understand how it works backstage, in that you can't just put this together and say, hey, we're going to do it. There are permissions that you have to get. There are people that have to sign off on using her name and talking about a particular instance. And you've done all of the things that you're supposed to do from a legal perspective as well.
I tell people I've bought houses more easily than getting the rights to this play. The family wants to protect the image and the name, so I understand. But there are always a lot of legal things with a play, and sometimes it's a phone call, and sometimes it's like getting a mortgage. But yeah, so we went through all that, and we've got all that.
Jami, when you found out that this was absolutely a go, and you were going to be Patsy, what was your first thought? Was it, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, or oh no, what have I gotten myself into?
I was over the moon. Actually, after Patty and I met, I heard her talking about this show, and I said, I've been in the show a couple of times, and I would love to do it again. And she and I actually worked and pushed and pressured for 2 years to get this finally accepted so that we could bring it to the stage. So I was just thoroughly excited and really chomping at the bit to get started.
Sarah, how did you come to have the part of Louise?
I was in 12 Angry Jurors at RAC in the winter. And then at the cast party, 2 or 3 people were like, you should play Louise in Patsy Cline. And I was like, all right, I'll audition. That sounds fun. I didn't know what it was like. So I went home and I watched it on YouTube and I was like, whoa, now I have an idea of what the show is. Heck yes, I'm auditioning. So I did, and I got it. I was so excited, but also looking at the script, I'm like, what have I gotten myself into? Because Louise talks nonstop. I mean, just like a reprieve from Patsy to sing a song, but like the rest of the time, she's talking. I break a sweat numerous times in this show.
And doing 6 of them, you may not have a voice by early October.
It's the moving. I'm dancing. I'm in the audience. I'm running around. I'm just egging everybody on. I'm directing the drummer, and like my butt has to do all the acting during that point. So it's a lot. It's so much fun.
Do you find as an actor that you prefer roles that are completely different from who you are? Or do you like to play somebody closer to your personality? Or do you mesh those two together and it all works out in the end?
I find that I like a challenge. So anything that's got layers to it, dialects, accents, difficult language, regionalisms, all those kinds of things. I love a good challenge. But what I love about playing Louise is I get to be myself turned up to the 100, and that's celebrated. You know what I mean? So it's not that I always want to play myself. I love playing other characters that are unique and challenging, but this was just a unique challenge in that it's me on an amplifier.
How about you, Jami? Do you typically like to play someone closer to your own personality, or do you like to go way out in left field?
I like to go way out in left field. And it's funny because the last show I was in was 12 Angry Jurors, and I played an angry juror. And I told the director, Hugh Hill, that I was just so thankful for the role because oftentimes, and I think maybe it's because of my big brown eyes, I always get more like the sweet or the softer characters. I played an ingenue role all the way into my 30s, and that's no fun. Everybody wants to play the villain, the crazy person, because it gives you something you can sink your teeth into. I became an actor so I didn't have to be myself. So, like Sarah, I prefer the more challenging roles.
Do you prefer the live theater to maybe something that's going to be on film? And we were talking too before we started recording that I record all of my shows, 98, 99% of them in advance, and guests like that. But I have a few that think that live radio would be cool until they do it.
Oh, I prefer a live show. I think that's the thing that makes theater such a draw for actors because it's new every night. And with a show like this, and Sarah can probably speak more to that, with the audience participation, when Sarah goes out there, she's never going to know night to night how the audience is going to receive her out there. So I prefer working live.
I love being in front of an audience where I can see them. I started out doing stand-up comedy and improv, and so I just love being able to take off and be wild with an audience. And even when I'm doing quieter stuff, being able to be there intimate with the audience.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of film and I've taken acting for the camera class. You have to dial everything in much smaller. You can't move a lot, and I can't stop moving. And also feeding off of audience energy is like a drug. Once you're used to it, you're like, I crave this thing. We had a rehearsal on Sunday night where we had the whole band, and I left and I was buzzing. It was so much fun. So yeah, that's something you just don't have in film.
Are you picturing the audience in their underwear?
I could. I could
I'm
try
not sure
that.
Louise should be doing
Yep.
that as a character because that may put her even more over the top.
That's true. But honestly, when I get in front of an audience, the volume goes up even further. Just keeps cranking up.
I get asked often to MC events and to speak at things, and I always hesitate, and people are always surprised by that. They're like, yeah, but you're on the radio. I'm like, yeah, but I can't see any of the people that are listening as I'm doing this show. I only see you guys right now on the screen as we're recording. You put me in front of people and I can see them like roll their eyes, all of the things that gives me a little bit of nerves. So kudos to you for looking forward to that part of production and all of the acting that comes with it. Patty, where can people get tickets? When are the dates? Give me all of the logistics.
Go to www.raac.org. That's the Rappahannock Association for Arts and Community. And you can find all of the ticket information. There's a tab for theater or upcoming events, and you'll be able to find where to get the tickets. The tickets are $20. I think we're offering discounted tickets to kids up through high school, like maybe
Nice.
$10. It's really nominal. The theater is at 291 Gay Street in Little Washington, Virginia. A lot of times there are still seats available on a walk-in basis, but I wouldn't count on it.
And the production is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Are they all evening, or are there some matinees?
The first weekend, it's Friday evening and then Saturday and Sunday matinees. And then the second weekend, it's Friday and Saturday evening and a Sunday matinee. And the matinees start at 3. The evening performance is at 7:30. They run about 2 hours with an intermission.
That's the best $20 for 2 hours you're probably ever gonna spend.
I'm telling you, I know. People are going to leave there singing.
Sarah, are you at all nervous that some of your students are gonna pack the audience and then you're gonna have to answer to them come Monday morning?
Honestly, I think given where they are in their development, they will turn into ghosts and try to disappear if I talk to them while they're in the audience. That's what I think will happen.
Yes. And then they may not want to admit when they're back in class that they went to a play and actually saw the teacher.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to, Jami, when it opens on opening night?
I think I'm most looking forward to performing those songs for everybody and having them received well. I am confident in my ability to come close to Patsy's sound, but there's still a part of me that thinks, wow, you've really talked this up a lot. What are you going to do if people don't like it? I don't think that's going to happen, but you always have that little fear in the back of your mind. I just welcome the audience and their response to it, because I just know that no matter who they are, they're going to love absolutely every single second of the show. And they are probably going to want to come back and see it again. I'm not kidding. Most people that go to see Always Patsy Cline, wherever it's playing, usually see it more than once. It's
And with only a little over 100 seats available for 6 nights, they might want to just go ahead and take your advice, Jami, and get 2 tickets for 2 different nights as they're getting them.
Absolutely.
Patty, tell me one more time, what is the web address?
www.raac.org. And it stands for Rappahannock Association for Arts and Community.
Sarah, I will let you get back to class.
Thank you.
But I appreciate the time that you took today. And break a leg, is that theater speak?
Yes. Thank you so much.
And Jami, thank you so much for taking the time as well. I'm excited to see how you transform into Patsy.
Oh, thank you.
And Patty, thank you again for reaching out. We'll have to get you back on the show on a more regular basis, because you got Macbeth, you got Queen Lear, you've got the Nutcracker. There's a ton of stuff happening over there at that little theater.
Yes, we do a lot over there.
Thank you for reaching out to me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Janet. This
Thanks,
has been
Janet.
great.
I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode of The Valley today, a few minutes after noon. So have a great weekend. Have a great long weekend. As I'm saying that out loud, realizing it is a holiday weekend, I will not be back on Monday. I will be back on Tuesday for Tourism Tuesday with Carrie Hahn from Shenandoah County. So meet me here for that a little after noon.